and welcome to episode 21 of Eden's Realm. So, it's actually been a pretty long time since I've recorded anything on Eden's Realm or anything in general on Minecraft. I've actually, other than the really short redstone video that I did, that was maybe a week ago, but that only took me like 10, 15 minutes to make. Um, Other than that, I actually have not recorded anything at all, which is kind of odd because normally, at least during the week, I record something or other, even if I don't work out in the video and I just have a backlog. Oftentimes, I'm still recording for the next video or making time lapses or whatever. But I just haven't had well, I've had the time, but I've just been focusing on other things in life and on Minecraft, and just it just hasn't worked out, which is kind of odd. So it feels weird to sit here and push my F10 key to record, which is an odd feeling, but it is what it is. So one of the few things that I've done is I spent a little bit of time cleaning up all of this mass of greenness that is around here. And I've also put in a couple of structures. I had that one in last time, but like I've been putting in rocks, and as you can see around here on the side, I've been putting in more moss. I've actually done a little bit more texturing, but it hasn't been a whole lot. And I was thinking today that we would focus on doing some of this, and I think really just prettying it up a little bit. I want to make it more, not necessarily presentable, but I want it to feel like it's an actual place and not. It feels to me right now that it's just like plopped down. It doesn't really do much. So I'm wanting it to feel like it's been, I don't know, lived in, I guess is the word I'm looking for. And I'm thinking I'm gonna have to build like a dark and dungy layer down here that probably leads down here. And I'm really at a loss for it. I don't really have the creative inspiration that I thought I would. And the more I've sat and thought about it, I don't really know where to go with it. Just kind of an odd feeling. But yeah, that's just kind of part of it. And so I think what I want to do to start out is I want to lay down a couple of paths and give myself an idea of like, well, what are the paths I would take when I was walking around up here? So to make it feel lived in, I mean, I want a path to come around out here and possibly look down over on this edge, or I might actually bring it around this side. I think that might be a better idea, and have one leading out right here, and maybe actually put like a little wood platform right here on this edge and do it. I think that might look cool. And then I'm thinking to have some more rock structures here in the back and kind of focus more not on the scenery out there, but on kind of what's going on back here. Because it feels like a big backyard that like you'd have a window to look out of. I think I don't know, I'll have to come up with some sort. Maybe like an arching rock that's like maybe one's fallen over on something. I think that might be a cool idea. But yeah, even talking about it now, I'm starting to feel a little bit better about what we might do here. So I think first off, let me get some blocks placed down, and I want to figure out what I'm going to do with this like overlook here. Well, went relatively fast. It's not a whole lot. I just put that down and gave it a little bit of support. I might have to. I think I'm going to break that block right there and put another beam in. Probably one from this way as well. I think that'll look really good. But it's not too, I don't know, it's nice and simple, and I think it fits in as much as it can fit in with this monstrosity of a build. I don't know. The more I look at it, the more I wonder my design choices for it. It's just very disorganized and odd, but hey, it's okay. But I do want to put in here, I want to put in like a little, I don't know what you'd call it, like, I don't know, a picnic area. Maybe, yeah. So, thinking just a little bit of coarse dirt, some mossy cobblestone, and then around the edge here, I want to have like 3 path blocks, maybe one thing of that. Like that, and then I'm thinking we'll do there, yes. Um, Shoot, this is what I get. Ah, yes, here it is. This, put like a little table here. Like that, I'm thinking. I guess I'll have to, yeah, and then you maybe one back. Oh, I don't know. I feel like the tables in Minecraft are just so different. I guess maybe like that. And then you have one there. Yeah, I think that looks right. It's not really. I don't know how I feel about it, but I think it fits the aesthetic. Like it's, you have a little bit of a view up here. You might want something to eat on. I don't know. It's all right. And then I do want to make a path back, so that. And then what I've been doing for the paths is just kind of going along, breaking out where I'd run, and then going back through, just kind of placing it down wherever I feel, getting rid of some stuff, go like that. And then with most of the dirt, I'll till it, but I'll leave some of it untilled. I leave that one and there. I feel like there needs to be something obscuring the path. Maybe we put like a bush there, because I feel like it needs something to go up here. And then like that, maybe. Yeah, and then actually, let me hold on. Look at it. Boom. And what we can do is we can just put the like a bush here. So I'm thinking do like a azalea bush. Maybe if we put like a spruce log type thing in here, and then I feel like it needs a light. I don't know what. Oh, if I build on the fly, put a moss carpet there. That, and then another one here. Enough. But I mean, yeah, that works. And then you get the idea, like there's just a bush growing there, and you kind of have to walk out of the way for it to get up here. I really like it. I think it looks nice, and that's kind of what I want to do with this place. Give it a little bit more life and a little less of the randomness junk that has been going on around out here. I took a little bit of time and I worked on this like gazebo here. What I did was I put in a rock into the middle, a little bit of water down around here, nothing too big or too fancy. Just built a gazebo around it, and I think it looks pretty nice. It's all pretty plain and simple. Birch and spruce fits together nicely. It's definitely not like a very pretty build, but then again, I don't think gazebos are very pretty in the world anyways. Maybe that's just me, but I don't know. It's something that if you want to have your head out of the rain but be outside, you can be here. Which I don't know why you'd want to do that, but it's okay. Anyways, yeah, this is what I've built, and I think it's nice. I've been away for a little bit. I know it's just been a couple of seconds for you, but I've been away for about a day, and I just got back from a meeting of Christians, and um, it kind of dawned on me why I had not been doing well focusing on Minecraft recently, which is weird because it's Minecraft. But yeah, let me just talk about that a little bit, and I'm also gonna work on this road here. So Minecraft has been what I feel God has called me to move into to share His gospel about for the past 8 months, and I feel like He wants me to continue doing that, and I feel like I've been led down this path, which is what I want and what I believe God wants, and what are the guy who was speaking, his name's Todd. What Todd was saying was, is there God has a path for you and you should follow it. And I hadn't really been pursuing God in the past 2 weeks, and I felt my I felt the inspiration for this series like kind of dwindle, and I feel like those are connected because as in the past 2 or 3 days, as I've come back to God, I've spent more time on Minecraft and I've spent more time on this series, which is kind of odd, but it's okay. And I think that's what God wants, and I feel like that's also what He wants for you, my viewer. And so, yeah, talk to God and listen to God and see what He has in store for you because God has a plan that is bigger and better than anything you could design or desire. And that's what He wants for you. There is definitely a whole lot more work that could be done around my base area and just making it look a whole lot nicer. But I've wanted to kind of start my own, not base area, but like building project. And so I've spent some time scouring the land around just to the, I guess it'd be west. It's this direction. West. I think that's west. The base is back that way, to the west of the base. And I found a really cool area that I'm super stoked about and think it's going to be really fun to build in. So let me just pan around and show you. And then, so if we come out here on the edge, you can see just how massive this area is. And it is ginormous. Like, this valley here is almost, what, almost 150 blocks deep? It is insane. And there's some massive dripstone caves and all kinds of stuff, which makes it look really, really cool. And then you got this huge mountain range back here, and the calcite vein that goes through it looks really cool. I don't know if that'll be a keeper of the uh, natural world gen, but this is just crazy. I knew that Minecraft Terrain had been given an update, but I had just forgotten how much crazier it could get. Like we're standing on 255 right here, and that's just insane. And yeah, I'm just really excited about this. I don't have a whole lot of actual plans in place. I think I'm gonna want a really tall building to go here and like have a winding staircase and then probably have like a lot of houses, residential houses here and here. I don't know if I'll do anything over here. Maybe this will be like a farming area. I think that might actually be really cool if like this is the farming area because it's more green and it's less savanna. And then like down here you could have the slums of the city. And I don't know if it's gonna be like a city or like a sprawling metropolis. I definitely want to do it in like definitely not going to be modern. I'm thinking maybe not like ancient, but definitely I don't know. I'm thinking like not fantasy, but not modern. I don't know. I'm I'm still trying to decide on what to call the design choice I'm going to go for. But I've been thinking that I want to build up here is I want to build it's basically just like a really tall white pillar that'll go basically up to build height from here. I'll have to what's build height 320 now? 320ish, so another 120 blocks or so, and it's going to be really big. It'll cover basically most of everything else, all of the room up here, and it's it's based off of I think it's called the Citadel from Game of Thrones. It's just like the house where well, it's the building where all the books are stored, and you, yeah, that's where all the knowledge is, and it's a really like fantastical build. Just stretches way up in the sky, and I think it will make this peak more interesting as compared to how dull it is right now compared to like these three. And just to give you a like a description of how large this is, I had to turn my render distance up to 20 chunks, and it's not even. It doesn't even load in from mountain range to mountain range, which is just insane. But I'm thinking for a little bit here, I want to take some blocks and probably wool blocks. That'll probably be the easiest. And just kind of lay out an idea of what I'm thinking. It is really good that this portal here has the broken portal here has some obsidian because I definitely did not have enough for a portal in my interest, which is a little unfortunate. But well, nothing. I actually might have needed that flint and steel. It'd be nice to have, but yeah, let me go on back and then grab some stuff, and I'll show you kind of what I'm thinking of. So I spent some time marking out all of the area that we need, and as you can see over there, the large pillar doesn't actually look that big. That's actually a 30 by or a 31 by 31 area, and it's about 150 blocks tall, if I did my math right. Maybe 100. I don't remember exactly, but it's really, really tall. But it just, in comparison to everything else here, it's dwarfed in size. And then down here, I outlined the town with brown wool, which wasn't the best idea, but it was the one I brought the most of. And as you can see, it kind of comes around here and down this way, extends out along this way and up right over to here. Then we got this area. And I was thinking that over here might be our farming district, and we would have like one in our three corners. So like one here, a farming area, one over there, and one back that way. I'm thinking I'll probably terraform a river into here because it looks like the kind of area that would have a river and then maybe like a waterfall in one of these. I don't know. That's some long-term plans. But if like you could imagine a like this is where you come into the village from either on water or there's a path that runs along the edge that's cut into the side of the mountain. I don't really know. But then I also have some black wool down here and some yellow wool up here. And these are two main buildings that I don't really have a plan for, but I know kind of the general idea of what I want. So this would be the like town hall, or not really a town hall, but the main meeting area, I guess you could call it. And it's the main building, probably one of the biggest, and it's it's the main building of everything here. And then down below, I was thinking we would have an entrance to a crypt. So this is where all of the inhabitants of the village could get buried. And so basically all this would be a dark and gloomy entrance, and then you go down and have something it wouldn't be in the cave, but something down here that would be the I don't know, the funeral area, I guess. So that's kind of the plan for this. This will probably be something that I don't work on every episode, and I definitely don't show every episode or even talk about. I'm thinking it'll be one of those things where I'll be designing the buildings offline or off of this world, obviously, in my building test world, and then I'll probably just have to gather all the materials and then we'll build all of it or half of it or something in a time lapse. That'll just kind of be put into the videos throughout. I don't really know the best way to go about making content from this. It's more of a reason for me to keep being in this world, which is odd because there's a lot of things to do, but I think this is a good way to do it. Also considering getting another mod that would allow me to like get what the mod is called. I'd have to I was looking at mods earlier and I think it said the mod caches chunks and saves them in your memory so that they can be viewed from farther out without being like loaded in your actual render distance, which is kind of odd, but I think it would help greatly with our frame rate using a really large render distance here. Because as you can see, even I'm running at, what is it, 22 chunks with a simulation distance of 14. So that helps quite a bit. The splitting up of these two jobs helps the game quite a lot, but it's still starting to lag quite a bit. And even you can still see where the world stops, which I really don't like. And I'd love it to extend basically for as far as possible. So I'll have to look into that. I don't know if I'll have that in the next episode, but I might be able to. Also, I finally got the new music that I had talked about in, that was been, I don't know, maybe a month or two ago. It finally came to fruition. I talked with the artist. She produces a lot of Christian music, and I was able to get a couple of songs from her. And one of them is an instrumental track, and then the other two are with her voice and other voices. So it won't be normal time lapse music, but whenever we have time lapses, we'll be able to use that, which I'm looking forward to. They're really good music. I hope you enjoy it. I'll have her links in the description for music and stuff. But oh yes, and I also created a new outro. It's not really anything different. It just has a bit of that instrumental track at the end of it, so you'll hear that at the end of this episode. But one last thing I want to show you before we finish up today's episode is what I've been doing over at the Guardian Farm. It won't look like much, but I assure you it's taken me a lot of work. I also need more plants. Whoa! Really glad I started recording there. Why are there hostile mobs here? It's... Oh, the last time I was here, I didn't have my mob switch on. I wanted to check the guardians were spawning. Gosh darn it, that's super annoying. I don't even have enough dirt to fill all this pit. That's... I don't even think I have... Nope. Okay. Well, anyways, this is the Guardian farm right now. There has been quite a bit of work done to remove all of the water, and we're just about halfway done. Gosh, it always has to rain at the most inconvenient times. That's not what I want. Just go to sleep real quick. Okay, so it's obviously been a lot of work. it's a whole lot more work than I expected it to be. So I knew that removing the water would be very tedious, and the use of sponges here has helped a whole ton, but it's still a whole lot of work. So I designed a flying machine to go back and forth and move the water in one big swoop, which has been really helpful, but you can see there's still quite a bit of water, and it's just taken me a lot of time. I've spent probably 10 hours removing all of this, and that's about half of it. And I was hoping that I could do it all in about 5, so I hadn't bargained for the amount of time that this would take, which kind of sucks. But I mean, it's what I get for making a 120 wide perimeter around it. I'm stubborn when it comes to that. But I still think this is going to look really cool whenever it's done. I have a plan in mind to turn this into a really cool looking area so that it's not a just boring um, perimeter around it, because I was going to have to do something to light up the ocean so that drown didn't spawn, and I just didn't want to, like, obviously have just bunches of glowstone everywhere in the water, because I don't think it'd look very good, and it it just wouldn't have fit the vibe. But I think this is going to be great once it's done. I'm kind of getting there, and over here where it's shallow, it's actually pretty easy. I just take some slime, build up some walls, and then throw 1 or 2 sponges in each hole, and it all goes away pretty fast. But whenever you come, like, over to here, where it's about 22 blocks deep or so, it obviously becomes a little bit more of a task. But it's okay. I'm making it through, and hopefully by next episode or the one after that, we'll have this done and we can start thinking about this. I gotta really bite down. I've been slacking off the past 3 or 4 days on working on this. I've barely done anything. But yeah, I'm super stoked with what we got going on, and I'm super happy with what's to come, and I hope you are as well. So yeah, that's going to be the end of this episode. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed it, and I'll see you again in the next one. Bye bye.